This is Unit 4, Lesson 3, and today is all about interpreting situations. We're being asked to write both multiplication and division sentences for different situations, and we know that multiplication and division are linked, right? If I have a fact family like 2, 5, and 10, that can represent 2 times 5 equals 10. It can represent 5 times 2 equals 10. Can represent 10 divided by 2 equals 5, or 10 divided by 5 equals 2. So we're being placed with, we've got some words that give us a situation, and then we've got some of these visuals that give us a situation. So in this situation, 10 is our whole, right? And then we have parts of 2 and 5, right? So 2 copies of 5 parts is 10. In this situation, 14 is my whole. So if I'm writing a division sentence, I'm taking 14 and I'm dividing it into pieces. And I can use this tape diagram to say, you know what, I have divided this physically into 4 pieces, and then each of those pieces is 3.5. I could also think about division this way. I could say, okay, 14 again is my whole, and 14 is the only whole here. And I could say, I divided it into groups that are 3.5 big. How many groups did I have? And that would be 4. Now, if I can represent the situation with division, I can also represent this situation with multiplication. So I have 4 copies of 3.5. And that equals 14. And obviously, because multiplication is commutative, I can flip those numbers around. I could also write that multiplication sentence as that. It would still equal 14. So that gives us an idea of how to do it with tape diagrams. Let's take a look at this situation. So it says, Mai had 4 jars. Each jar had 2 1/4 cups of jam. How much jam in all? So what do I have? Well, I've got 4 jars, and each jar has 2 1/4 cups of jam, right? So that's my multiplication sentence. You'll notice I'm using a question mark for my unknown. Could also represent that with a variable, or if I wanted to, I could solve it and use that number. Now, if I'm going to flip that and write a division sentence, I don't know how much was divided up into 4 jars, and each jar had 2 1/4 cups of jam in it. Could flip that the other way. My unknown total is divided into 2 1/4 cup servings, right? And that's equal to those 4 jars that it's in. Or I could flip those numbers around for my multiplication, since multiplication is commutative, and write it that way. You're being asked to only write 2, a multiplication and division. Good luck on your homework.